Hello everyone and welcome to another Courseplay tutorial. Today's episode on the tutorials will be setting up your own grain transport. Now I do not have the combines running on Courseplay because I'm using two at a time, and due to Courseplay scripts you cannot run no more than one combine. So for today's tutorial I'll only be using two combines on the auto combine course. So today I will be using the John Deere 7310 and the gravity wagons. I actually have one, but you can do two or as many gravity wagons as you want. It'll work with as many as you want. So let's go ahead and hop in here. So the first thing you need to do is open up your Courseplay control, and over here on the 9 boxes here for the grain transport that we are doing, you need to make sure you have the top middle one selected. As you can see, it's called Combi. It empties the combine and goes to offload. The one beside it, to the right of it, is for overloader, and we will get to that in the next video. Now, since we have this selected, we'll go ahead and set up the drive on at point. But you need to leave everything at auto. You can adjust these as going, and I will show you that in a minute. If you have a very large field, I would recommend you start at 30. As you can see, I have a very large field right here. This is one of the biggest fields I have. The other biggest field is right beside it. And because I'm going to be setting, here's one thing you guys need to know. When you do your manage combines, this is what you need to do next. You go to manage combines. If you're running one combine, then you need to set your find combines to manual. And then you need to choose your combine. As you can see, I have two Lexions running around. But that's not what we're going to do. I have two running. Now, if you want to run two and to make sure your tractor is going to go to that combine at all times, then you can run two tractors at one time with a trailer each, one for each combine, and that is okay. But there's a new little nifty trick that people keep complaining about, and that is automatic search. This does work. So it's a little buggy at times. If your tractor stops on the outside of the field after unloading one combine, he won't go search for another combine because he's not in a field. You need to make sure he's in the field so he can recognize it and find the combine. So we're going to do automatic search first. We're going to go back to the Courseplay control, and we're going to start up. Right now you don't need to save anything because we don't have anything to save. Now I'm going to go back around, and I'm going to give myself a good starting point. Why, you ask, is because sometimes it gets a very awkward point to where you'll start spinning in circles finding the start point. So you start with your course. As soon as you see the pause button appear, you can take off to where you need to go. And as for our sake, we're going back to the farm. And as you're making the course, make sure you do wide turns. If you have a small map and you need to make tight turns, I recommend using smaller equipment. Now for me, my grain auger has been turned invisible for collisions, so it won't make a difference on how we do this. And you don't have to stop, you just drive straight on through. And as you'll see, you're making red waypoints. That is good if you're wanting to know how your course is. This is also helpful if you need to pause and delete some waypoints and go back. One thing I recommend is always make sure you stop your combine inside your field. So if you have a tractor that destroys crops or a trailer, make sure you go ahead and start harvesting a few rounds before you do this. And for our sake, we're going to stop a little bit before we get here. Alright, now you stop. And always do nearest waypoint for this. And make sure you save it. Since this is a new game save, I just added some new things to my map. This is a new game save, so we'll go ahead and do F1, 2, grain bins. That is all up to you on how you name it. If you're going to go straight to a sell point, you put your field or whatever to sell point. But for our sake, we are going straight to the grain bins. Now, there's something I did not mention when we were in the field. It's always best to make sure your tractor passes by a fuel trigger. Now, if you forget to do that, you can get you a trailer or anything that holds fuel and set it up beside the course, but out of the way of the tractor. So if once it goes low on fuel, it will automatically refuel the tractor by itself and you don't have to do anything. Alright, now let's save this and let's give her a go. As you can see, he's already got his first combine set. Now if you just started turning on your combines, it might take a minute depending on your fill level, which ours is at 30 and the combines have already been running. I don't know what's wrong with the pathfinding in this courseplay, but at one point in time when you had pathfinding turned on, he would go all the way around the crops into your combine. Now it does not do that anymore with the latest version. But the latest version also does improve performance of the courseplay, and it's not as bad. So I'm very thankful. I'm not complaining. So we're going to show you guys the automatic search function. Now I will not be skipping through the video, and I won't be like, for testing purposes I will speed it up or anything like that, because you need to keep your field speed at 14. I know that sounds unreasonable, but that also helps the fact of the combine is moving at a certain pace, and when you get behind that combine and start moving to it too fast, the tractor's just going to slam on brakes and do a front wheel. Now we're nearing our combines. He's going to go for the closest one, I think, first, which will be the farthest to the back, depending on how close each combine is. It's going to go, like, either way, it's going to go to the closest one. And because I took so long to make the course, we're meeting the combines when they're full, which is okay. I think he's going to go for the first combine. Yes, he is. Okay, so this is what you need the combine in motion. Now for this combines, it's easy for the tractors to go ahead and automatically line up with the offsets. See, it's automatically set to 9.1. Now if you're using the John Deere combine, you can automatically do it, but I would recommend going to 10 or 10.5, because if you're using the most recent header released by Jillian, you're going to be smacking the header. Alrighty. Now since we have unloaded the combine, he's going to turn around and go to the back behind the combine, so he's out of the way. He's going to stop in the field. That's a good thing. This is what you want. Okay, so here's a bug. This is not supposed to happen. It's going all the way back to the beginning. So you might want to go ahead and stop it. And then just hit start again. I don't know why it does that. Sometimes it does it. I think it's a mod conflict. But as you can see, he's already searching for the new combine, which is the one that stopped because the fill level's over 30. Now you can have two tractors running the automatic course. They'll both search for combines if one, and when you use your combine settings, I'll show you in a minute. Okay, I'm gonna get out and let him do his thing. I'm gonna go here and show you a little thing. Okay, so if you go over to the combine controls, you'll see that he is requested for the John Deere. If you have multiple tractors, it will request whatever tractor. Okay, this is that part. Driver priority. The distance is the closest tractor. So if you have more than one tractor, the closest tractor will come to the combine. Now if you set it to the fill level, the tractor with the, I think it's the smallest fill level, will come. I don't remember. I think that's right. But I always leave it at distance. It doesn't matter for me because I always use one tractor. And I use 3 combines at one time, but for today's tutorial I'm only using 2. As you can see, he waypointed himself around the combine so he can get out of the way. This combine will start back up. I didn't do that. If you're using automatic combine like I am, some people want the combine to stop when unloading. You need to use the unload mode up here at the top left corner, and you need to make sure it says stop when unloading, and you can do it while driving. This does not have that option. When you have the combine on field work mode and you're using one combine and it's running a course, there's an option here that says stop combine while unloading. If you have that turned on and you're using a tractor on a course, the combine will stop. But if you say you're driving the tractor and you have it stop on unloading, the combine will not stop. This is due to a bug. Now, I've tried it multiple times in different ways and it does not work. So that's why I use the auto combine, because you can, if you drive the tractor, the combines will stop. Now, the reason why the combines do not stop, excuse me. The reason why the combines do not stop is because it cannot detect that you are a tractor coming to. All it can register is there's a trailer near me. I need to open my auger for me to unload. I don't know if it's something in the script file. I have no idea. Your guys' guess is as good as mine. I'm gonna turn that off because it's gonna lag. Alright. So the tractor's going to take its course. It went back to the beginning. Now it's taking its course. The speed for the road is whatever you set it to. Right now it's automatic from where we were driving. Now if you want it slower, you go to maximum speed. You click on speed. It'll go to maximum speed. And you change it to whatever speed you want. But for me, we'll be using the automatic course. Now when it gets to its tip trigger, it will register, hey, there's my tip trigger. Here's where I'm going to tip. As you can see in the bottom there, tip trigger reached. I'm going to get out and show you that it'll automatically unload when it reaches its trigger. And there you go. Now that is it, guys. That is for the first part. Now the second part, I'm going to, well, yeah, that's practically it. Okay. I better go ahead and order me some fuel right quick, guys. Hopefully these guys don't collide. I just forgot that was coming. Now this is one good thing too. I don't know if any of you play with the collisions. He will try to avoid that truck. Yep, he did. Now this is one new feature I just added to my map. This tank does not have unlimited fuel. As you can see, she is very empty. And the milk and the, shut up. Now he is filling my tank. It won't show it. So this will be in my map when this will not be standing here. This will actually be inside my barn over there, as in real life. This is actually the farm that I work on. We don't have that overhead bin, but we have an auger like this. We got these 4 bins. Actually, the whole entire layout is exactly the same except for this back here as well. Back there in the back, if you go back there, there's a silage pit. I don't know why I'm talking during my own Courseplay tutorial. And that's not, I guess because somebody's going to get curious as to what the heck this is. Well, that's just for grass and straw. Just a little extra, whatever. Alright, so the tractor has come back and he's looking for his new combine to unload. Well, that is it. The next thing is overloaders, and that will be in the well, actually, you know what? Let's stop it. Send driver home. Okay, that is the best way to stop a piece of equipment from moving. Alright, so we're going to stop the driver. We're going to go back home. I'm going to reset this course, which will not delete it. We're going to remove that course. It'll still be there for future use. And I'm going to exit out of that. I'm going to go pick up my overloader. And it's like the fuel man's done his job. Now I do have other tanks on other farms, but I have to fill those manually with a fuel trailer. I have to go to the fuel station up on top of the hill over there and grab fuel and take it back onto those tanks. Alright. Now this is the part that I use. Overloading. Let's go ahead and get a trailer. Any trailer will work. But I'm using Wilson's. I always use the Wilson's. You can use the dollies and stuff, but it's a lot harder to set up. And let's go get our rig. And yes, I do use all these mods. I have over 4 gigabytes of mods, not including what I have saved into another folder. I'm still working out a few errors in my map, and this map will be released. I do have a version out, but it's not multi-fruit. I'll come back and get that truck in a minute. You don't want to set your truck up until you're done. Now there's a trick to using this. For this, I do not recommend the automatic course, but for our sake, we will. Alright, so we're going to be setting up the overloader course. Now let's go a good distance this way. Let's start right here in front of where my house is supposed to be. Alright, let's go ahead and start course recording. Now that's all you have to do, just go ahead and make a course. When you see the pause signs pop up, you can make any turns that you have to. For us, we're going to go a ways, and then you're going to come down here to the P button, hit that button. That sets the waiting point for your overload. You can drive a little more, always drive a good distance, and stop. So if you look back, there is a big P sign. That is where the tractor will stop to unload the grains. Now we're going to hit nearest point. Now here's where you do the overloader. So we can't use combi. It'll go unload the combines, but it won't do nothing else because it don't know what to do. So you need to come over here right beside that option and click overloader. And we have automatic where everything is good, and that's practically it. If you, let's say you did not have the settings set up already, so make sure you have your fill level set up and your drive on at %. I always stick mine to 100. If you're doing your managed combines, and then again, we're using automatic for now, and you can also use your manual search. That is very handy if you're, say, splitting your fields up and you don't want your combines to get in the way. Alright, and you want to make sure your field speeds are just right. And we're going to hit drive course, and he's going to search for his first combine. Alright. Alright, now next thing we're going to do is we're going to set up our truck. You can put this on a course. Why not? We'll do that too. We'll do the grain transport. But this one is a lot different. We're not going to set him up until the tractor returns. That way we can have a clean, smooth setup. So we're just going to pull it right over here and wait. And due to the fact that the last combine that he was using on automatic course was this combine in the rear, that is the first combine he's going to go to. Now because he turned in at an angle, the header caught him off guard. Now, for the testing sake, I will not let this tractor go on to the next combine because I am cut for time here. As soon as the combine or tipper, not tipper, but overloader is full, we will send him back. Let's play some Jeopardy music here. Alright, send driver home. Let's turn this off because this will be the end of the tutorial. Alright, so we're headed back to the overload point. Alright, we're reaching the beginning of our journey. And as you see, as soon as he hits the course, he will start to open this grain road. This is the reason why I waited to do the truck, because I want to see exactly where he stops. Because sometimes he does not stop exactly on the pause point. He might actually do it this time, I have no idea. He stops a little bit before. Thought I'd turn that combine off. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set up our truck to sell point. I will not do it to the farm. I mean, you can do yours to the farm, just do it the same way you did the other one, just except for there's an option. Okay, before we do this, I'm not going to go in, stop and let him do this. There's a reason why, and you can do it this way, it's fine with me. You need to make sure you leave it in grain transport. That's what you always got to do. And be ready to click start recording as soon as you're ready. I'll come back and unload him as soon as we do this, and you'll see why. And because it's the end of the tutorial, I'm doing it a little different so you guys can see what happens when he loads. Now you do have to worry about your fill point right here. Always set it to 100 if you want your trailer full. But other than that, that's it. You do not have to hit a pause course point for this. Alright, and as on your return approach, make sure you line up with your overloader. This is why I did not do this, because I put the start point so far. It's only because when he comes in, he's going to, there we go, stop, save as F1 to sell point. Oops. Save it, and you can go ahead and hit. This is why I did this. There we go. That is why I did this. And as you see in the bottom, he is loading. He's not going to fill it all the way up, but for testing purposes, I will show you that he moves on to his next thing. Let's say he's full. You hit drive now. I'm just going to ignore that, because I made that turn so tight it's going to run into the fence. But I'm sure you guys get the general idea. That's not what I like to see. Because he had to make that tight turn, it's very hard for him to do his thing. There we go. But you guys get the general idea. Just when you do those kind of turns, make sure you can compensate for when it goes back out for straightaways. Because Courseplay only goes to a certain speed. It's just going to drive at 37 is actually the max Courseplay speed. He's not going to go any faster. So if you have vehicles that go extremely fast, I'm very sorry. I'm not driving this. Like I said, you can say it's adjusting its speed and stuff on its own. As you see, when it comes to his point, he's going to recognize it's the tip trigger, slows down, and he unloads. And that is the end of today's tutorial. He will continue back on his trail and go back to the unload point, loading point. And if you have any questions or comments about the video, please leave them in the description below. Not description, but the comments below. This map is a work in progress. If you want a version of this map, it's not as good looking as this. It is in the Buford Gaming channel's Facebook page. I'm sure you can go back in some of the videos I've done and check them out, and you'll find a link to them. But that is the end of today's tutorial. This is Courseplay Tut number 3, Combine Unloading and Overloader Specializations. Like I said, and again, I hope you enjoyed the video. The next video will be setting up a, I'll think about it. Well, setting up a plow, since that's the first thing that needs to be done. So the next video will be setting up a plow, and because I'm an American, I will be using an American plow and not no furrow plow. I'll be using a disc plow. And we'll go ahead and set up a cultivator too, because the cultivator and plow I'm using are the same size. This is Buford from Buford Modding and Gaming signing off, and I'll talk to you guys later.